This is part number 3 of no cost freelancing. And in this video, we will discuss the best practices for helping you get more business as a freelancer. In part number 1, we talked about what freelancing is and also showed you different jobs and skills you could do for other business owners and other people looking to hire you. In part number 2, we just covered freelancing sites that contain thousands of potential jobs that you could be out there applying for, and how that's one of the quickest ways to get up and running as a freelancer for no cost. Now we're going to talk about best practices, ways you can even further your business and even get more business out there. For starters, we're going to talk about how to create a winning profile to really help you on the freelancing websites. The first thing is to have a good headline. You want to try and limit it to one line on the profile page. So for example, to do that, you would include your position title, your number of years experience, and your specialty. So you could say, I'm a graphic designer, 3 years experience, Photoshop. That would be like your specialty. Or if you're an article writer, you could say, blog content or blog writer or content creator, 1 year experience, WordPress or blogging. So you get the idea. If you're new to your profession, include your top qualities, like what kind of things you can do, what kind of things you can bring to the table. Use a professional photo as well as part of your profile. A blank wall with good lighting of just your head works perfect for this. So you don't need to go into a fancy studio to get fancy headshots done. You just need a nice, clean, professional photo. It could be taken with a cell phone. Most cell phones have good cameras. Camera you have around the house. And if you have absolutely access to none of those things, find a friend that can get you a good picture, because a professional photo will help you a lot. Look friendly and professional. Make sure it's only you in the picture. That way people aren't having to guess who you are, and it also looks more professional to just have it be you. Profiles with a picture on them will get you much more attention and much more business. In your profile, have a strong opening paragraph. Open with your qualifications, like what sets you apart, what makes you a good writer, what makes you a good graphic designer, what makes you a good bookkeeper, what makes you the right candidate for that position. Tell them what makes you a good candidate right away. Another thing to look at is look at other profiles, like we pointed out in one of the previous videos, and that is to go through, look at some of the top profiles in there, the top writers, the top bloggers, the top HTML coders, the top website developers, the top WordPress engineers, whatever the case is, whatever job you're looking for, the top bookkeepers. Look through your category and look at the top profiles that come up, and those would be good ones to take a look at. These are people with the experience, and it's going to give you a good idea as to what to include on your profile. Discuss your academic background if applicable. If you have a college degree or advanced degree, make sure you mention that. Use that to your advantage. It's not the end of the world if you do not. So don't worry if you do not have a college degree or an advanced college degree. But if you do, don't forget to include it. Always use samples of your work. Have links to samples of your work in your portfolio if they allow you to link there, or have some sort of examples uploaded. A lot of these freelance sites, they kind of restrict if you can put a link to your example work, but they do let you upload information. So you could upload screenshots of websites you've built or screenshots of graphics. You could upload Word documents of articles that you've written. So always make sure you have samples of your work. Even if you're brand new to freelancing and you're brand new to doing work for other people and you have no other examples, the best thing to do is to sit down and pick 4 or 5 really good niches if you're going to be going into writing, and just write 4 or 5 unique articles in 4 or 5 different niche markets. That way people can see that you can do good writing and that you can become a good writer in other niche markets. And it's important to have samples, because without samples, it's basically going to eliminate the chance you have of potentially getting hired. You really need to have those, because it's going to come down between you and maybe 20 other people, and you want to stand out amongst the pack. And so that's a great way to get yourself towards the top, is to have a sample. Some profiles, again, will let you attach your samples, and like writers, you want to provide multiple articles that you've written and try to get them in different niche markets. That way it shows your diversity. Designers, if they let you use links and images of work you've done. And again, if you are brand new, this is your chance to stand out and make an impact. You want to also follow the rules on the freelancing sites. Be careful on your profile about posting your full contact details, or like if you're going out there and bidding on projects, you want to be careful about putting in your email and your full name, because sometimes the freelance sites make money by connecting people, and they can get offended if you're including your direct email or your direct phone number. They oftentimes frown upon that. So make sure you read the rules when you're posting your project. That's why they have private message features, so you can actually interact with the user in the website environment. And it also is there to protect you as well, because the second you go outside the freelancing site to get payment, you are basically in a position where you can't get paid. And so you have no recourse there to get your money. And that's the beauty of the freelance sites, is they help facilitate that as well. They make it a nice, clean, friendly environment for both parties, where both parties are protected as much as possible. So make sure you're following the rules, because the freelance sites can send you a lot of business, and you would not want to get banned over some, a goofy rule that maybe you weren't aware of. Use their messaging feature in every case possible to connect. After the project is won by you, they may produce your contact details a little bit further. That's typically happens. You see that in a lot of kind of websites similar to that, like website for sale marketplaces as well. But just depends on the situation there. But be careful about including your full contact details when you're posting projects, and make sure you're abiding by the rules, because you don't want to get your profile shut down or suspended unintentionally, something you didn't intend to happen. So here's some other ideas and best practices to get more freelance jobs. Have your own website or page online about your services and services that you can offer. You could set up a page at about.me to set up a free page online if you don't have a website. This is actually really good. Even people that are high professionals that are really well known in social media, authors, I see them actually use their about.me page on like their Twitter profile. I've witnessed it happen. You could post your resume, and you could post links to examples of your work as well. And this is a good thing to have, because it's kind of a good recruitment tool that you can share with people. You could have, a set of free business cards printed up or something as well with this on it. You could use Weebly.com for a free website. You could also use Wix.com as another alternative as well. Wix is Wix.com. All these are great options for creating a free website that advertises your services, demonstrates what you can do, and it's a really good way to kind of build that appeal and show you as a more professional candidate for a job. Social media accounts are really important. Get active on social media if you're not there already. You will be amazed how many potential clients are hanging out on social media environments. Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Google Plus, Pinterest, you name it, you will find many different people on those channels. So at the very least, get involved with Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn. LinkedIn is really good, especially if you're trying to do work for other people. You'll find lots of business people on there. Google Plus and Pinterest, that would be up to you. Especially Pinterest, it may be a little bit harder on Pinterest to find work unless you're a really, graphic designer. That'd be a great spot for you to hang out, because you can demonstrate your work. Use a semi-professional photo on your social media profile, similar to the same photo that you are actually using on your freelance job listings if you're doing that as well. Mention you're a freelancer on your profiles. That's something really important. A lot of people forget to do that. You can mention, hey, I'm a freelance copywriter, I'm a freelance graphic designer, I'm a freelance, web designer, I'm a freelance music editor, freelance video editor, video producer. You get the idea. You can mention what you do on there. Use social search on Twitter. Social search on Twitter. So you could do things like freelance writer wanted within Twitter. You could actually do a search for that, or freelance writers wanted in quotes, and you'll be amazed, because there are people that will actually tweet that out saying, hey, I'm looking for a freelance writer, and then you can connect with them, send them an at reply or a direct message on Twitter and say, hey, check out my about.me website if you decide to set that up, or your other free site. Show them your example work and get to work. Find some work. You could do that every day, or every couple hours during the day. Maybe do a quick check on there. It takes you just a few seconds to check that out. And these are some additional keyword phrases: freelance writer needed, freelance writers needed. You can see an example here from what we have right here on my Twitter account here. notice the phrase freelance writer wanted, and then you could use any of the combinations we just did there. What you'll find there is I just plugged in that phrase, freelance writer wanted, into the top of Twitter. So if you go to twitter.com, they've got that search feature. Right there, you can see all the possibilities that just popped up here. Writer wanted for lifted truck articles, so people are looking for articles on lifted trucks. Beauty writer is wanted in the Upper East Side, so it might be a job that's not, that's not in person. It just depends. Writing gigs has posted some jobs. A tech writer is wanted. These are all within one day, and they're all within not that far from each other as well. So make sure you're utilizing that feature of Twitter and other social sites, especially Twitter though. They've got a great social search option. So if you go to twitter.com, use the search option and type in freelance writer wanted, there's a good chance you're going to find the kind of gig you're looking for. Graphic designer wanted, same thing, same concept depending on your niche market. So here's some other ideas to get more freelancing jobs. You could set up a Google Alerts. So you can go to google.com/alerts, and it will actually enable you're going to be one of the first to know about new jobs or opportunities, and it ensures you don't miss any opportunities out there. So you could do a search query for freelance writer wanted, freelance graphic designer wanted, freelance videographer wanted, freelance photographer wanted. You could do those searches and, for example, do the freelance writer wanted in quotes, create an alert so that they would actually send it to your email address. As soon as there's an alert that comes up and into play, you're going to get an email about it. So you could choose to be alerted immediately. You could choose to find out once a day. So like here's an option, how often? Just click on that scroll down and it will give you multiple options. Result type would be everything, or you could choose more specific keyword phrases. How many? You could choose only the best results or unlimited. And if it gets too much, you can always come back and update these settings. But what that does is the second somebody posts an article or posts content and says freelance writer wanted, boom, you can be right there getting a notification and finding out how you can interact and with that company, get in touch with them, and you could be one of the first people to find out about that job and be one of the first people to apply for that position. You can do the very same thing if for some reason you're not a fan of using Google services or you want another option as well besides Google Alerts. You could also use something called TalkWalker Alerts. So if you go to talkwalker.com, you can go here to TalkWalker Alerts. You can monitor the web for keywords, things like freelance writer needed, freelance writer wanted, freelance designer needed, freelance designer wanted. You get the idea. And here's some additional ideas for freelancing jobs. Partner up with people. Web designers and developers need content writers or copywriters. So you can team up with people. So you could team up, if you're a web designer or you're a developer, you need to team up with content writers or copywriters. So you're out there looking for them because they help further your business, and vice versa. If you're a web designer, reach out to content writers and let them know what you can provide. And so if they have somebody that has a good writing project, they might be able to send business your way for the design part. Marketing consultants, they need graphics experts, for example. Talk about your expertise. Clarify.fm. This is a great site. It lets you charge between $1 and $10 per minute of your time, and it's where people can contact you. You can set up a profile on this website, and people can say, hey, I need help with a certain issue, and this is a way that you could actually further get more clients because they're going to find out that you know your stuff. Not only are you making money for the time that you're spending with these people in a certain environment, but you're able to actually use the service Clarify.fm, which will enable you to show your expertise off and then also funnel it into additional business. And you really only want to do this if you are extremely knowledgeable about the subject market. So you don't want to, just willy-nilly do this for any kind of niche market. Although it certainly works well, like if you're creating your own product and things and you want to tap into another niche, you can outsource that. You could do this research yourself. But if you're on the spot, somebody's calling you to talk to you, you definitely need to know your stuff in that niche market. But if you do, this is a great avenue, and more than likely you do if you're going to be freelancing on that subject. It's going to open up additional opportunities down the line for you, and it's something to look at. Here are some bidding strategies for you to take a look at. So bidding on jobs is very, very important because when you're on the freelance sites or even offline, if you get like a Google alert or a TalkWalker alert, it's really important to start, bidding and bidding correctly to ensure you get the most jobs. Especially on most freelance sites, you bid on the jobs. They don't just come to you unless you're doing like people per hour, where we talked about how you could actually post an hourly job where people may just hire you for it. Don't go for your highest rate when you start out. It's going to be difficult to get that or to request that. You may need to work for a discount to start getting some feedback. So keep that in mind. It might be a lot less than what you want to work for, but you've got to start somewhere. You got to start somewhere, and just that first couple bits of feedback is going to be phenomenal for you because you get a couple, 5-star ratings or 4.5 5-star ratings. Then you also get maybe a written review or two, and you have somebody that can recommend you. Next thing you know, you can get any job you can turn around and that you need. Your feedback and hours worked will make new jobs much, much easier for you to get. So work on smaller projects to build up a client base, and don't be shy about bidding a lot less than what you want to bid on. It doesn't mean you have to be the lowest cost bid in the pile, but it also doesn't mean you want to go for your highest rate either, because the higher rate will demand itself once you become more qualified and once people see you as more of an expert on there. So start taking advantage of these strategies we just talked about. Start getting yourself out there and start generating some more income as a freelancer.